Hi friend, and welcome to this yin yoga practice that's intended to open the hips and prepare you and your body for seated meditation. You can of course do this practice at any time where you feel like you want a bit of a hip opening, and maybe after a long day of sitting, after your workout in the morning. But if you can combine this class with a meditation afterwards, that's amazing. And I'll actually start the class with a breathing exercise that you can then take with you through the class and also into your meditation afterwards. So you don't need to press play or find a guided meditation. You can just sit with yourself in silence with your breath. If you want to, you can just see where you are at today. How does it feel to sit cross-legged before we start the class? So you have a baseline if you like to compare how it feels before and after the practice. I also have 2 blocks with me today. You don't need to have any props, but if you have blocks or a few pillows or folded blankets, you can grab them and I'll show you how you can use them in your practice. But as I said, you don't need them. You can do all of the poses without them. Just in yin yoga, it can be nice sometimes to feel a bit more support in the poses. So that's why I have them handy. So grab your props if you want to have any, and then we'll find a very, very slow and nice, yummy yin flow today. We're going to start in child's pose, so just come and face the front of the mat if you're not already there. Feet together, knees wide. Start to walk your hands forward, melting your heart down in between your thighs. And we're starting in this pose here because it's a great opener for the hips. If your forehead is down on the mat, just rest there. Otherwise, maybe you'll grab one of your blocks or your pillow and put it underneath your forehead so you can really rest down into the pose. Keep your arms reaching forward to just lengthen through the spine. Make any final adjustments and then settle into stillness. Find your pose. And start to notice your breath. So to really soften and melt in the hips, we're going to use the breath through the practice today. I'm going to give you a breathing exercise or a pranayama that you can bring with you into every pose that we do. The aim with the practice today is to open the hips. So the pranayama that we're doing, the breathing practice, will help to do just that. Help to calm the body and open it. So just start by emptying your lungs, exhaling everything out here. And then we'll inhale through the nose for a count of 3, 2, 1. Exhale for a count of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale 3, 2, 1. Exhale 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale 3, 2, 1. Exhale 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale 3, 2, 1. Exhale 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You can continue counting by yourself. If you want to expand to an inhale of 4 and exhale of 6, you can do so, or even higher. So what we want is to get that extended exhale. Our exhales longer than our inhales. And that will activate the parasympathetic nervous system and help us open and stretch. Take one more breath in your pose. Maybe open the mouth side out. Inhale to look forward, gently starting to make our way out of the pose, walking the hands in, knees in underneath the hips. Maybe you move a bit forward on your mat here so you can have space behind you to extend one leg. Take the left leg first and reach it back. Start to sink down onto your right heel with your glutes, walking your hands in. If you can sit down all the way here, that's great. If not, that's also perfect. You can use your blocks underneath your hands to keep you uplifted a bit higher here. So what we want is to feel a stretch on the front of the left hip and also a nice opening in the heart here. Give a little activation in your belly, your lower abs, to protect that lower back so we're not dumping into the back bend. Wherever you are, see if you can stay with as little effort as possible. Maybe closing your eyes down and come back to the breathing. Really feeling that front hip melt down to the mat. One more breath here. Exhale it out. Gently walk your hands forward a bit, tuck the back toes so you can step it in. And we'll move to the other side, right leg back, melting down again, finding your variation on this side. Maybe using your blocks here if you can't reach the ground. I have long arms, so that always helps me. You can have your fingertips in or maybe even your entire palms. We want that little lift in the heart to help extend through the right front side of your body here. Again, closing your eyes down. Holding yourself here with as little effort as possible. Coming back to your breath. Back to the counting. Longer exhales than inhales. Take one more breath on this side. And then gently walking your hands forward so you can step the right knee in next to the left. Remove your blocks if you have them on the mat. Just find your hands and your knees onto the mat. Maybe just shifting your hips here from side to side. Maybe letting the head into the movement, looking back towards your hips. If you want to take cat and cows, you can do so. Just take a little moment of release here. We're going to come into a yogi squat. So if you have your blocks, you can use them here. I'm gonna turn to face you so you see better. Just grab your blocks. We'll come into our squats. So placing them on top of each other, or if you just have one, placing it down onto the middle setting. And then walking your feet wider than the hips, toes pointing out, sitting down onto your blocks. The feet can be a little bit in front of your hips, your blocks. Find a distance that feels nice. The arms can be out to the sides here helping, or you can plant your palms together in front of your heart center here, gently using your elbows to open up through your legs, your inner thighs here. See if you can grow taller through your spine. And then soften through your hips, close your eyes and come back to the counting of the breath. Feeling it flow all the way in and down to your hips. All the way back out again. Once you have your pose, see if you can stay still. We're striving to find that sweet spot in our yin practice where we feel it, but it's not painful. Once we're there, so it can be a challenge to stay still as well. So the breathing practice that I gave you that you can use to anchor is not only good to soften through the body and help it open into the poses, it also helps us to stay present and still. So it helps us to have something to focus on. Staying here for a few more breaths. And then take a final inhale here. Maybe gently open your eyes. And walk the feet back in together here gently. You can use your hands to help guide them. Place your feet a little bit wider than your hips, toes pointing forward. I'm just going to come into a standing forward fold. Hands down on the ground to support you, lifting the hips up. Letting the head go. And the neck hang heavy. Keep a nice bend in your knees so that your belly can rest on your thighs. The hands can be on the floor or on blocks, or you can grab opposite elbows. For today, I'm going to place mine next to my feet, palms facing up, fingers back. So I can get a nice release through the shoulder blades as well here. But you choose how you want to have your arms. Just find a place where you can really stay and hang out. Once you're there, just come back to the breath. Finding a little lift through your sit bones to help you stay balanced here. Hanging out with as little effort as possible. Just take a final breath in your fold. And then gently walk your hands under your shoulders. Start to look forward. Gently coming back up out of the pose. And then lower the hips back down onto your blocks. And find a moment here seated. Just reversing the blood flow. If you feel a bit dizzy from being upside down, that's normal. Just take a little break here. Now, if you want to, you can keep one of your blocks underneath your sit bones. We're going to come into butterfly. I will remove mine and just land down on the mat. Or actually, I'll grab one. I feel my hips need a little bit extra height. So once you have your block or pillow underneath you or just on the floor, just let your feet come together, open your legs apart. You can find some space here so between your feet and your hips so it creates more of a diamond shape. You decide here today. Take a breath here. You can stay upright. Be gently using your arms as weights onto your legs here. Or if you want to fold forward, you're welcome to do so. If you're folding, gently coming down and letting your chest move down first. And then if you want to start rounding your head down, you can do so. Find your pose, find your edge. Maybe walking your arms out in front of you, palms facing up. Now once you're there, just breathe. Come back to your counting. If you at any time feel yourself wandering away in thought, and just come back to your breath, back to your counting. Take one more breath here. And then gently looking forward, starting to walk your upper body back up if you were folded. And we'll just close the legs here together. You can remove anything that you're sitting on. Find your feet hip width distance, hands behind you. Just let your knees fall to either side here, gently releasing through the hips here. Now we're going to come into a seated twist. So you can extend both of your legs forward here. And we'll start with the left leg in and then crossing it over the right. The right leg can be out or you can bend it in. You choose here. I'll keep mine out just to demonstrate. Left leg close to you, left hand behind you. Take an inhale and grow tall, right hand towards the sky. Exhale, twist. You can hug your left leg in, or you can hook your elbow on the outside of your leg. Just find somewhere where you're comfortable, where you can stay. When I practice yin, I always hug my leg in. And see if you can find a nice twist here that feels good for you. If you want to twist in your neck as well, you can look back over your left shoulder. Otherwise, you can stay with your neck in line with the spine, looking to the side. You choose here. Find a gentle activation through the right foot, gently flexing the toes in. This is a nice opening for the outside of your hip, but also a nice lengthening and twisting through the spine here. We're preparing the body to sit. Take one more breath in, this twist on the side. And then we'll gently come back to center. And lengthen the left leg. Coming into the other side, bending the right, crossing it over. Again, the left leg can come in if you wish here. It will create a deeper stretch. Right hand behind you. Inhale, lift the left. Exhale, twist, hug your leg or hook your elbow on the outside of the leg. Find your twist on this side, gentle activation through the left foot, toes flex towards you. Find your gaze over your shoulder or to the side, more in line with your spine. And then hold. You can close your eyes down. Come back to the counting of your breath. Extending your exhales. Take your final breath on this side and come back to center. Lengthen both legs out. Just give them a little shake here. And then we're going to come down to lying on our backs and take our final pose for today. Just reaching your knees in to start, and then we'll find our happy baby, grabbing the soles of your feet and lifting them up here, knees towards your armpits. And find your back of the head grounded down, tailbone down. Your shoulders on the floor or striving down here. You can take a few rocks, just getting yourself comfortable, setting yourself up. And we'll hold here for a few minutes. So once you've settled into your pose, come into stillness, and then come back to your breath. Feel how gravity really helps you here to open your inner thighs, your hips. Let the hands be weights on your feet, holding on with minimum effort. Just melting down and into your pose. Take one more breath in your happy baby. And then gently closing the legs back, releasing the feet. Just hug your knees into your chest, lifting your forehead up, connecting it to the knees. Give yourself a big hug here. Take another 3 breaths in your squeeze. And gently releasing back down. If you want to extend the legs into Shavasana, you can do so. But since the practice was aimed at helping you prepare for a seated meditation, I'll come back up and you can do the same. Cross your legs, just notice if there's any difference, how it feels now at the end of the class to sit with your legs crossed. How it feels in your spine, lifting your crown of the head up towards the sky. You're welcome to press play on a meditation practice or just stay with the breathing technique in silence. This is where I'll leave you today, and I hope you enjoyed the class. Hope your hips feel open and you feel calm and ready to stay still in your meditation. Thank you so much. See you next time.